Hi, my name is Mohammed Abubakar, and I'm going to do my project on how to install macOS as a virtual machine on a Windows device. But first, let's talk about some background information on macOS. macOS is Apple's proprietary OS for its iMacs and MacBooks. Proprietary basically means like it's closed source. It's not the code. The source code is not available to anybody. It's like owned and governed by Apple itself, and you can't like use it to make other distributions like what Linux does. The first desktop macOS was released on March 24, 2001, and it was the macOS X 10.0, and its code name was Cheetah. So the question is running macOS possible on a Windows device? The answer is yes and no. Yes, as you can have it as a virtual machine, but you can't have you can't boot from it like an actual secondary OS. Like how you can have a Linux one on your Windows, you can't have a Mac OS one like that. You can't partition like your drive and add Mac OS to it and boot from it. Or you can have a bootable Mac OS drive and boot from it into a Windows machine. There are like Hackintoshes, but you can't really do those without breaking Apple's terms. I mean, people still do it, but I'm not gonna teach you how to do that here. There's a lot of features in macOS, and here's some of them that I'm gonna describe in the following slides. Here you can see the user interface, pretty simple, not complicated. You can see the menu bar up top. Windows doesn't have that, but Mac does. And at the bottom you can see the dock. And here, these are the trackpad gestures that you can activate and set up. You can see you can use like multiple fingers to do different tasks. And here are the hot corners or active corners. Basically you move your mouse to any corner and it's gonna do a different thing. For example, in this picture, if you go to the top left corner, it's gonna take you to the desktop, and if you go to the bottom right corner, it's gonna take you to the mission control. And here's my Mac. I'm gonna do it here on my Mac. I have them set up so. And here's the continuity thing and the handout feature. Basically all your devices are synced together, and whatever you do on one, all of them can like open it and do it. And if you get like a FaceTime call or a message, iMessage, you're gonna get it on all of your devices. And as soon as you like open your MacBook up, like start it up for the first time, you're gonna have iCloud connectivity. It's gonna be set up for you, but like you gotta log in and everything, but it's gonna be set up and ready to use. All you have to do is log in. So first I'm gonna teach you how to install macOS on a Mac using the installer. There's also a terminal one way like where you use commands and everything to download it, but I'm gonna show you like the easier way. So first you just gotta go on a web browser, anyone, and just search up macOS installer, and then just click the first link that is gonna pop up. It should be from the Apple support page. Then once you're on it, just scroll down and look at which one you want to install, like what Mac version you want to install, and click on it, and then you'll be redirected to the App Store where you can download the DMG file for the Mac OS version you want. And then basically when it's installed, you just gotta double click it and just follow the on-screen instructions. It's gonna ask you what language you want to select, where you want to install the Mac OS. After all that, you're gonna wait for like 10-20 minutes, and then after it does that, it's basically ready to use, and you just gotta put your Apple ID and fingerprints and all that into it, and then your new Mac OS should be ready to use. And now I'm gonna teach you all how to install Mac OS as a virtual machine on a Windows device. So first of all, this was pre-recorded, and I'm gonna just talk over it right now. So this is a website that basically has a step-by-step guide on how to install it. Here you can see all the different Mac OS versions you can install, like Big Sur, Catalina, Mojave, and all that. Here you can see like the requirements, like you gotta have 2 GB of RAM at least, you gotta dedicate at least 2 cores of CPU and all that. Here you can see the virtual machine disk file for the Mac OS. You can either download the latest one or the stable one. And here you can see I'm about to choose the stable one because I don't want no bugs or glitches. And here you gotta download Virtualbox. Obviously, that's like a whole different tutorial. So this is like a prerequisite. You gotta have this to have Mac OS on Windows. And now I'm about to download the file that has commands in it that you gotta execute later on. And now I'm gonna just both of them are downloading, and I'm gonna just wait for them to download. Here you can see it's about to be downloaded. You can see it's downloaded now, and it's in my file explorer, so I have it. Now I'm gonna start up Oracle Virtualbox to add to macOS in it. So I'm gonna click new in the Virtualbox and basically add all the information of the macOS virtual machine. I'm just gonna write macOS Sierra here. And for hardware, you should give it at least like 4096 megabytes, which is 4 gigabytes of RAM to it, and at least 2 cores or more for the macOS. So this hard disk is the most important part. You gotta choose existing virtual hard drive file, and then basically upload the macOS VMDK file to here. That's the file we're gonna add, and then basically click on it and open it. And basically just click on it here too, and then choose it to be added to it. After it's added, you just gotta hit finish right there, and it should pop up here in like a few seconds. Yeah, there it is. So now we just gotta execute the commands. The file we downloaded before this one, we just gotta basically copy and paste each of the commands in it one by one into the command prompt that you gotta open with the admin privileges. Here you gotta change this to the name you give the virtual machine. So in my case it was a macOS Sierra, but you can put whatever you put in the Oracle box. And now I'm just gonna save this edited text file to my desktop for easy access. They also advise you to close Virtualbox before you execute the commands, so no like corruption or any other bugs or glitches happen. And here I'm going to open command prompt with admin privileges. That's very important. Here I'm just going to open the edited text file and copy each command one by one and paste them into the command prompt. And now I'm going to open up Virtualbox again because all of the commands have been executed. And now you just gotta start the Mac OS up. And now I'm just gonna fast forward this because it took long. It's just basically starting up Mac OS and doing the post test. The post test basically checks for that all the major components and the computer are fine and all that. Here the post test is completed and it's gonna start up the Mac OS installation process. Here it's telling us to choose the country we live in. And here it's telling us to choose our keyboard or language. This is a virtual machine, so just click don't transfer any information because you can't really do it. Here I suggest you don't allow it to use your location, but you might need to enable it for like maps and stuff in the future. Here you can sign in with your Apple ID, or if you don't have one or you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. Here you just gotta read the terms and conditions and agree to it. Here just put your full name and your username, which is account name, and then set a password for your account. Even though I put the password in like 5 seconds ago, I forgot what I put at the end. Was it like a 1 or an exclamation point? So that's why I put the hint like that. Here you just gotta select your time zone. I'm in the East Coast, so I'm gonna just select the East Coast. You can put wherever you are. For this, you should not like accept these because this is like a way of tracking your like activity. Companies say it's like to help them out, but they do other things with it too, even though they don't say to do it. Anyways, Siri, you can enable it or disable it, it's up to you. And here we're basically done, and it's just gonna set up everything for us now. And here you can see that it's loaded. macOS Sierra has loaded. That's like the taskbar, but in Apple it's called the dock. That right there is the menu bar. That's the intro message, and I'm gonna open like system preferences and Finder to show you that like the Mac OS virtual machine works. And now I'm gonna go on users and groups to show like the account, the user I made. I think the password was password 1 and not the exclamation point. Now I'm just gonna write like I think it was that I got Mac OS on Windows as a virtual machine to end the video. So that's basically it. That's how you install macOS as a virtual machine on your Windows device.